Happy Sunday, everyone. It is 101 degrees. I think it's hotter than that, but we'll just go with the 101. And it is 4:27. I'm here by the empty field. I got a close parking spot this time. Nobody's behind me yet. I guess nobody else is coming for lessons. They start like in 2 minutes. I got my notes out. In addition to those notes, I have these notes here that I didn't type them out. I printed them out and I wrote my own little notes there. Let's see if I can keep on that though. Let's see if I can follow through with my notes because I go off somewhere else. But first, I wanted to talk about these videos that I saw earlier. I was going to start with a birthdays one, but I'm going to put that aside for now because there's a little story about it and talk about a humbling experience. So let me start first with an antipasto. Did I say it right? I wrote it down here. Antipasto salad story. I don't know if you've all gotten wind of this story. It's apparently being trendy on X, and I don't know about Instagram. I didn't see it on Instagram. Where did I see it? Where did I see the story? I think it was on X, and then I saw it on YouTube. I found it on YouTube. Yeah, it was on X. What happened was, I almost lost my pen, is this lady, and you know what? I didn't get anybody's name, so I'm sorry about that because I think her name is Nicole. So Nicole with her family, her husband and her 2 kids, they move into this small town, and I don't know where they're coming from. It doesn't say where they're moving from or anything, but they moved into this small town, and she's very sociable from what I gather because she's all about the community and being involved with the community and building, I guess friendships, and she seems like a very caring, very fun individual to be around. Apparently she also has a TikTok. This is where the story originally started because it started out with her leaving a home in tears, or she already got home and she started crying and telling everybody that she's never been treated so rudely. She can't believe this happened to her. And what happened is that her friend Samantha, I guess it's neighbors with another neighbor that was having a gathering / party get together at their home. And Samantha told Nicole, hey, why don't you guys come over? You don't have anything to do on 4th of July. Why don't you guys come over? My neighbor's having a party. And she stated party. Why don't y'all come over, so that you all can watch fireworks and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, I'll go. She was all for it because again, she's very sociable. And I'm so bad at storytelling, aren't I? And Samantha's child apparently is very good friends with one of Nicole's sons. So that's how she met Samantha, and that's how Samantha ended up inviting her over to the neighbors. Samantha and this neighbor are very, very good friends. And if you're wondering why I'm not even looking at my notes for this, it's because I didn't really write any notes on her. But anyhow, so Nicole, being that on her TikTok she's gotten famous, popular, because she puts dishes together and she grows a lot of her food in her backyard. Now somebody's parking behind me. And she decided, hey, I'm gonna make an antipasto salad to take. I had no idea what this was, you all, but it looks delicious. It's got some lettuce, some tomato, fresh from her backyard. Some people say said that she made her own cheese. Others are not sure. They can't confirm. Then what else is there? Oh, some cold cuts in there, but the good cold cuts. You know, I'm assuming you can also add like prosciutto and all that, but she had like some pepperoni, some salami, I think. No, not salami. I don't know. She had some other meats on there that looked so good. Some cherry tomatoes, some olives, all the good stuff. I think she even put mozzarella cheese in there. All the good stuff. And then there's some kind of dressing that you put on top. And she has her own recipe on her TikTok. I will list that on the comments because I don't remember. I didn't write it down. I didn't even think about it. Hang on, you all. Let me get some more of this coffee. People are starting to get here and I'm getting nervous. It's making me nervous because I'm in the car. And I'm going to have to turn my car off shortly so it doesn't turn off on its own. And then I'm going to be hot for a little while. And then I'm going to have to turn it back on. So anyhow, so she makes this dish. And it wasn't no small dish. It wasn't on a plate. It was on one of those silver trays type of thing, you know. And it was like a medium-sized one. And she has it loaded with all this stuff. She spent like $40 on the meats from what they said. Let me put my paper over here because I keep running into it. And so everybody is outside at the time that she drives up. So immediately the owner of that house, she's like, who is this? Who is this driving up? Who is she? You know, they see her get down with her kids and a tray. And prior to all, well, I'll get to that in a sec. And her name is Seja or something like that. It's a really unique name. And they see Nicole go into the house, her house, and she's like talking to everybody. She's getting there like, hi, I'm Nicole, how are you? Like, I brought this dish, you know, nice to meet you, da 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 da. Somebody let her in the house. I don't know who, but somebody let her in. She didn't just walk right in, you know. And I guess the kids were outside at this time playing. And you know, everybody's outside like, who the hell is this woman inside the house, inside your house? Like, who invited her or what? And I guess that's when Samantha says, oh, I forgot to tell you. I invited my friend Nicole. Her kids and my child are friends. And they're like, oh. Now that's Samantha's story, okay? And, the mother-in-law, I guess, goes inside and goes up to Nicole and says, hi, who are you? And she's like, oh, I'm Nicole. I'm sorry, you know, like I try to say hi to everybody and introduce myself to everybody. But I was invited by Samantha, da 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 da, you know. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to need you to come outside with all of us. And she's like, okay, but the approach was a lot colder than what I'm making it sound, okay, according to the story, right? And so Nicole at that point, she's like, I can leave if it's making everybody uncomfortable. And the lady's like, no, just come outside. And supposedly that's all that happened. Now Nicole has a different story. She says that Seja's, is that her name? You all need to go watch that story, and I'm so sorry that I'm butchering names here and forgetting names. But her husband passes by her and says, you know, it's kind of rude of you not to introduce yourself to everybody. And she was like, I tried to get to everybody, you know, and I just got here, and he was just like, and, walks out on her. And then some other guy went up to her, and it's not exactly confirmed who this other guy was, but he walks up to her and says, well, yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah. And walks away. Like, everybody was just really rude and cold with her, right? So she's like leaving at this point. She's like, I'm not staying here. Like, wow. And believe you me, I've been in situations like that before, and I was invited. I should tell you all really quick that little story after I tell you this one. And anyhow, so she leaves, and nobody's feeling bad. Nobody's telling her, no, we're sorry for the misunderstanding. Sorry we were rude. No, please stay. It was just a misunderstanding. We just didn't know who you were. None of that happened, right? So she leaves, she gets home, she starts crying, she gets on her TikTok, and she starts telling her story, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you every single detail, but here's the thing. That little thing there blew up even bigger, to where now there are death threats. And there are, I think there's going to be lawsuits involved if Nicole keeps getting harassed by these people that threw her out of their home. It's just ugly. It is an ugly mess, you all. It's an ugly mess. And my immediate reaction was, why the hell didn't Samantha stand up for her? That's supposed to be her friend, because her kids are friends with Samantha's child. Why didn't Samantha announce, hey, Seja and husband, this is my friend Nicole? Why didn't Samantha even go up to Nicole as soon as she got there? Anyhow, this is my friend Nicole. I invited her, remember? I don't know if y'all remember, but I invited her. This is her child. And look what she brought. She brought this really nice dish. Everybody, this is my friend Nicole. Nicole, this is everybody. This is my neighbor friend, Seisha, her husband, her mother-in-law, the other neighbors, the grandma, the dog, the cat, the fish, everybody. Introduce her to everybody as a friend, right? There's a lot of pieces of this puzzle that are missing with her friend. I'm not trying to place blame on the friend, but I thought that was really inconsiderate. If you are my friend and I invite you over to my house for 4th of July or Christmas or Thanksgiving, whatever holiday is going on, and it is just my family that's there and my husband's family, and you get there by yourself because your husband's out of town working, that's the one thing that I didn't mention. Her husband's a truck driver. He wasn't around. But if I invite you and your child to come, or children to come over to my home, the very first thing I'm going to do when I have you inside my home is I'm going to be like, everybody, hey, everybody, this is my friend. This is my friend, Jane Doe. This is her child, John Doe. I invited her. You all get to know each other. Jane, these are my family. This is my husband. These are my kids. This is my in-laws. These are my sister-in-laws. This is my brother, my sister. You all get to know each other. And look what she brought. Oh my goodness. What did you call this again? Antipasto? Oh my God, that looks delicious. I'm going to put it on the table right now if anybody wants to start digging in until the food's ready. And thank you so much. Do you want something to drink? You want some water, a soda? You want a mixed drink? Whatever I have available, you can let me know. Kids, we have a cooler right there for the juices. You all grab a juice. Let me get my kids out here. My kids, come on out here. Take the kids with you. Go to your rooms. Go play something, whatever the case. But that's what I'm going to do. I am not going to leave you alone in my home. Have everybody stare at you and make you feel uncomfortable. Let alone tell you need to go outside. Yeah, you need to go outside. No. That is just rude as hell. I feel like there's pieces of the story that are missing, and I hope Christina Randall, I know you don't watch my videos, but I hope you cover it because this is big news here. It happened last year, but I still would like to hear you cover it because you know how to do all that research and stuff. And I'm trying to be kind to everybody everywhere, okay? So, yeah, please do it. But anyhow, let me tell you a little bit about my backstory when that happened. When I first started dating the husband, I don't know what the hell was going on. I know when I first met my now husband, he was seeing a lady, right? He was seeing some lady that was staying with him in his apartment downstairs. I was upstairs. I was dating somebody at the time as well. We were very, very serious as well. Then he got deported, right? And I briefly covered something about that where somebody from my job reported him as illegal, not even knowing if he was legal or not. Apparently he wasn't legal, and he got deported. Okay, which, now that I think about it, was a blessing because that's how I met the husband. That other guy that I was seeing before, that was living with me, that was illegal, he was actually cheating on me the whole entire time he was with me. And I did not find that out until he got deported. It exposed a lot of stuff. But anyhow, then before my then boyfriend got deported, he had already ended a relationship with this lady that that my husband was living with, right? He ended that relationship. She didn't want to leave. He had to call the police to have her removed because she did not want to leave. This is as per the landlady that told me this. He did not tell me this. The landlady told me. I later asked my now husband if this is true, and he said, yes, it is true. She did not want to leave. I had to get the police involved. So that's how that happened. Now, we started dating. He starts taking me around his family. His family gave me this look of disgust from day one. And I was like, whoa, and it was a family get-together / party, where all the families are there. They're all sitting at the table. All the women are at the table. The men are outside. I don't know if that's a Hispanic thing or is that everywhere. I don't know. But the men were outside while the food is cooking. We're inside, We're sitting at the table, and they're all trying to get to know me, but they're very tacky about it. So, what do you do? What was your name again? Moon? Oh, okay. And what do you do, Moon? Well, I work over here. I was working at the dealership at the time. Oh, and how long have you been there? Close to 10 years already. That's a long time. Wow, you must really like your job. And I said, well, it helps me out. It supports my family. And they're like, and are you married? And I'm like, no, and they're just like all these personal questions. Fine, I get it. But then as time went by and we were still gathered around in these parties, right, that I would sit with these women, which are now my in-laws and outlaws, I'm sitting there, and they finally asked, do you have any kids? And I'm like, yes, I have 2. And they're like, well, how old are they? And I tell them, and then they're like, so how old are you? And then I tell them, and they're like, oh, we thought you were younger. Sorry? And they're like, no, that's good. That's good because we thought you were younger. I said, my husband has all this money loaded. And he's fully loaded, right? Like, he's so loaded. And I'm a gold digger. Okay, whatever. Anyhow. And then during that time, I was going through some really bad menstrual cramps. And let me tell you all, ladies, side note, endometriosis is a very serious, I don't know, disease. Is it a disease or what is it? I don't know what it is. But what it is, it's like scar tissue that builds up in your uterus and on your, it can spread up to your fallopian tubes and even into your intestines if you don't take care of it. Apparently it's black, it's sticky, it's not very nice, right? It kind of reminds me of, what's the name of that? What is the name of that show? It's not a show, it's a movie. They have a whole bunch of Resident Evil. That's what it reminds me of. But anyhow, like a mutation type of animal. Anyway, so it's very painful. It gives you very painful periods. I had that going on. I had ovarian cysts going on. I had just had a tumor removed. And I don't know if y'all remember. It's a long story. I'll have to tell it again some other time. I had some stuff going on down there, you know. So anytime I would have my period, it was a very painful experience. And I would have my period every 2 weeks, believe it or not. It was horrible. And now I'm cured, you know, because I got a hysterectomy back in 2015. But now I'm dealing with HRT. Anyway, we're here to talk about the Walking Dead, people. And here I'm talking about all this other stuff. So anyway, so I was there sitting on the couch. I was yawning, you know, because I was getting a migraine. I was starting to get a migraine, and nothing to do with their presence. It was just how I was feeling. And I will never forget, one of the sisters says, "Are we boring you?" And I said, no, I just don't feel well. And they're like, well, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm just, you know, women things, you know, cramps, you know, I'm getting them right now. You know, it's my day one, and day one is the worst for me, you know. And they're like, oh. But they thought I was exaggerating. And anyway, I know, like, what that's like. In other words, to be around people that aren't very welcoming, you know. And I just really feel for this lady. But this, like I said, happened last year. And I'm pretty sure she's doing way better now. Hopefully she moved out of that crazy town. And anyhow, let me move on because so I was talking about birthdays. This month is my birthday month. Oh, sorry about that, you all. Okay, I'm only 23 minutes in. I don't want to take a whole hour and a half. This month is my birthday month, and what got me really, like, depressed, and it's not like anything to do with the channel or anything like that. I was just already going through it. Okay, I had to take a sip of my coffee. I was already going through it because prior to all me watching that video, last month, the husband and I were discussing how we wanted to celebrate our birthdays together, and we wanted to do something for us. Away from here, preferably, right? Now, last year, I wanted him to take me to the beach. He did, but it was the worst experience of my life. It was very unplanned. And, yeah, it's, he spent the money that we had saved to go to the island, and that's why everything just, it was the most horrible birthday ever. So I was hoping this year he would make up for it, give me 2 nights at the beach like he had promised last year. But then he decided $300 for 2 nights at the island is too much. I'm like, what? You know it was going to be expensive. It's the middle of summer, you know? But he's like, yeah, no, I think we should go to San Antonio. And I'm like, San Antonio? Like, why? That's going to be even more expensive, you know? You're going to have to pay for the gas all the way over there, the hotel also, plus food, plus if we go shopping anywhere, or even if we go sightseeing, that's still going to be gas, you know? And he's like, yeah, but I want to see my boys. And it's my birthday too, and you said you wanted to celebrate both our birthdays together. And that's what I want for my birthday. And I said, okay, but you're kind of like taking over. You're using that as to your advantage, because you're kind of making it seem like I just forfeited all of my idea of what I thought my birthday was going to be, and you just made it into yours. And I said, you know what, fine, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to pick a nice hotel. I'm not going to stay at no hole-in-the-wall hotel that's infested with roaches. If I tell you all the struggle I had finding a nice hotel, I did. Because the nice side of me was struggling to find something affordable, but not too much. I didn't want him to pay the 3-something. I didn't want him to pay over the 3-something. So I was looking into the cheaper hotels, and even some of the nice 3-star hotels that were mentioned, somebody always brought up roaches, you know, or their car got broken into. And I'm just like, great, I don't want to stay at any of those places, right? So I finally found one decent one with very good reviews. I looked into TripAdvisor and all that stuff. I went ahead and already reserved it. In fact, they already charged me for it from Expedia. It came out to almost $300 anyway, but I reminded him of that. Hey, it came out to like $265. So do not get at me because, oh, I said no $300. It's not $300. And unfortunately, at this hotel, as nice as it is, the pool is indoor. It's not outdoor. I'm not sure why they have indoor pools now. I wanted one outdoor. I wanted to get some sun. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to fuss about it. Whatever. I will do with an indoor pool. I'll make it work somehow, you know? So anyhow, this is where this YouTuber comes in, and she uploads a video on how she's celebrating her 30th birthday. And if you know who it is, if you ever see this video, don't tag her, please, because I'm not saying anything bad. I have nothing against her. She seems like a really sweet person and everything. She has the sweetest voice. But her video just fell on the wrong time for me. Okay? And so she starts telling you in her video on how she's getting ready to celebrate her 30th birthday, and how her boyfriend, not even husband, her boyfriend is taking her on a trip. And he's taking her to Maui, Hawaii. And I was just like, what? My Maui, Hawaii? My Hawaii? He's taking you to my Hawaii? You know? And I'm like, wow, you know, great. You know, like, oh yeah, that's just great. So lucky, you know? And you all, in short, they didn't go just for a couple of days, like the weekend, a 4-day weekend or something. No, they went for 8 days. And then they went to a luau. They did some shopping. They ate around there. They got snacks. The whole thing, you know. And I was asking ChatGPT, like, how much would that cost? Because I was like, I wasn't wanting for this month, you know, but I'm thinking like maybe next year we can go. Yeah, we would need roughly around $12,000. Yeah. Or at least 10,000. Because where they stayed at was a resort in a suite with a balcony with a view of the ocean. For 8 days. That alone is $6,000, give or take. The luau is $150 to $200 per person. That's another $400 right there. Now, that's not including the meals that they had outside the hotel. You know, she repeatedly said how they would go to this pizza place that's there. And then they went to other islands. And then they went to a waterfall. All beautiful, you know. And shopping. Then they were finally going to go shopping. And I'm like, all this for the 30th birthday. And I was like, and I can't even go to the island that's like an hour away from here for 2 nights. And she went all the way to Hawaii for 8 nights. That's how my mind was comparing myself to this YouTuber. And yeah, I was feeling like really down and out about that. I was feeling really sad, but I quickly got humbled when the husband reminded me, hey, you said we were going to celebrate both our birthdays. And at first I could have taken that as, you're taking advantage of me, you know? But then I thought about it, and I'm like, I should be grateful that we're even getting to go to San Antonio. And let me tell you why. So, before I came over here, I saw another video, and it was different clips of the way women were behaving towards their boyfriends. I don't even think they were husbands yet. They were, because there were some proposals in there. And I got to see the selfish, really selfish side of women that I was like really shocked. You know, these women would be taken out on dates and they would order the most expensive item on the menu because they had it in their heads, well, he's paying, I'm not paying, you know. Some of these women have children and they were actually ordering enough to take home for their children to eat without thinking like, hey, you're on a date with somebody, you should have already have fed your kids before you went out on a date. You can't expect your date to feed your kids. That's ridiculous to me. And I never did that. Never, never, never. Anytime that I would go out on a date, I would feed my kids first. And then I would get ready and go on the date. Now, if we weren't going to go out to eat, we were just going to go to the movies, I would feed myself as well. And my kids. And then I would go out, right? And I always made sure about all this. I never took it for granted like, oh, he's going to feed me and take me to a movie. Because I don't know what he's up to, you know? Like, I really don't know, you know? And unless I talk to them, you know, as I'm talking to them, you know, I'll be like, so what did you have in mind? You know, you said you wanted to go on a date. What did you have in mind? Oh, this, and this. Okay. Or just this. That's fine with me, right? Like, I'm just like, anyway. So, other women, they were getting proposed to, and they did not like their ring. It wasn't big enough. It wasn't expensive enough. Other women, one guy, actually, he bought a car for his girlfriend, quote unquote, and it was a Mercedes. A freaking Mercedes. And then it turns out that she was married and he was paying all of her bills. The boyfriend, him, was paying for all her bills. And he goes over to present her with a car and she's with another man. And she's acting like, who are you? I don't know who you are. And he's like, what do you mean, who am I? And then he looks at the man. He's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm her husband. And he's like, what? I'm her boyfriend. Like, I just bought her a damn car. And she's laughing it off like, I don't even know who this is. You know? Just terrible. Just terrible. And let me tie it all together. I think that all these women, not all women, okay, just some women, I think that if you're going to watch other women on YouTube, wow, look at this, you all. I'm always getting distracted, but look. Hi. Oh, there he goes. He's on the tree now. He or she. You can't really see it from here. Yeah, there you go. See the yellow belly? I don't know if I could use my finger. Right around there. Right there. Watching me. Always watching me. I'm already 36 minutes in and I haven't even started talking about The Walking Dead. Okay, so, I think that if you're going to watch other women, other YouTubers, influencers, if you will, that are going to talk about what a fabulous life they have, and mind you, I am really upset with one of them. I'm so sick of her. She moved down here from wherever the hell she lived. She's living in Houston now, and she acts like now she's all like an expert at Houston and taking you places in Houston, and she's always doing this on her camera. And that couch I got here, and that couch I got over here, and that picture frame, and using her hands to show you everything because she's got her nails done. She gets her nails done every freaking week, and then she's there like trying on outfits for you because she's gonna go on another vacation, and she wants you to know who's sponsoring her, because let's face it, they're all sponsored. But here's my point. My point is, if you're not in a good frame of mind, you could very easily fall into their trap of thinking their life is actually like this. Their life is actually this perfect. And you may want to even be like them. And so you start acting that out in your life, around your family, your friends, you know, and your husband, your boyfriend, whatever. And, that is so wrong, because you don't know if these people, these influencers, are really living that way. You don't know how many sponsors they have, which, by the way, I hate that people are even sponsoring them. It's like, to me, sponsors, who the hell are you to say, oh, this person can sell all this stuff for me? Really? What makes them so special? It's just stupid to me that they have sponsors to just giving them money. And then they have their viewers giving them money too, with views and clicks, you know? And here they are showing you their really expensive houses and taking you on their expensive trips while you're sitting there eating a ramen and saying, oh, I'm so happy for you, when really you're not. You're really not. You wish it was you. Let's face it. Let's be real. You know? Yeah, so if you're not on the right frame of mind, I wouldn't be watching those influencers. And I'm glad that I saw that video, as impressed as I got with it at first, because it humbled me and it made me realize that I got it pretty good. I may not have it as good as they do, because I am not as pretty as they are, and I don't have sponsors, you know, but I got it pretty good. You know, I have a husband who provides for me, for our family, and we're going on a small trip, you know, to see his kids, because we always see my kids. We see my kids just about every day. you know? So that makes me happy that he's going to be able to see his boys that live over there. And it is half of his birthday. It is half and half. We're splitting it. It's not all about me and what I want. And it's never been that way. But it's not with me going over there in the expectation of he's going to take me shopping. He's going to take me to eat at these really expensive restaurants so that I can take you all with me. No, it's a private moment. If you're having a birthday, an anniversary, or just a date time with your partner, that should be a private moment. That shouldn't be something that you're bragging about. That's just my opinion. So, I wanted to continue here, but I'm going to end this one, and then I'm going to start another one with The Walking Dead because I took up so much time. Thank you all for listening, and I have my notes. Thank you all for listening. I'll be back.